Royal shocker. Princess Leonor's royal dinner with Prince Christian and his father in Denmark. A royal dinner. Friends expect poise, tradition, unity. Suddenly, a shock. Emotions crack open, because what seemed to be a simple family evening was anything but. Body. They arrive at the palace in Copenhagen. Princess Leonor steps from the carriage, gowns brushing the marble, her eyes searching. Across the courtyard, Prince Christian waits with his father, the crown prince. Manners perfect, smiles poised, yet tension humming beneath the chandeliers. You might think this is merely another royal engagement. A scripted photograph, a smile for the press. But on this night, something unexpected lingers, an undercurrent in the gestures, the pauses, the glances. It starts with a greeting, Leonor's voice soft, Christian's nod hesitant, his father's handshake firm, but brief. It is that moment you don't notice until later, but then you can't unsee it. Why did Leonor hesitate before speaking to the crown prince? What did her eyes say when she glanced at Christian? And what was said later, when the cameras left? Let me take you into that candlelit room. Let me show you the layers behind every toast, every sigh, every unsaid word. Section 1. Backdrop of expectation. Denmark's royal traditions run deep. Family dinners equals ritual. The crown prince's palace dinners are private affairs, but always laden with symbolism. Hosts, guests, roles, everyone knows their place. When royalty gathers, lines are drawn, lineage, allegiance, expectation. Princess Leonor, heir to a different throne, is a guest but not always treated like one. The weight of her own heritage follows her. Prince Christian, younger, less burdened by the immediate line, yet deeply sensitive to every glance. His father, the crown prince, between duty as a monarch in waiting, and father as a human, wants peace, but not at the expense of protocol. They are three people, three identities, each holds their own truth. Section 2. Front-loaded emotional moments. Across the table, Leonor's hand trembles slightly when the first course arrives. The aroma of sea bass, simple, elegant, brings back a childhood dinner in Madrid, with her parents laughing over spilled soup. Her gaze drifts to Christian, who drops a fork. His father's eyes flicker, irritation. Or concern. Christian's face flushes, embarrassment. Leonor offers a small, understanding smile. A bridge. Immediately, you feel the weight of that moment. It's more than courtesy. It's connection across expectation. Later, when dessert is served, light, honeyed cake with Danish cream, Leonor leans forward. She tells Christian about something private. A memory of visiting his grandmother's home, the one she had never seen but heard so much about. Christian listens. His father watches. Is that warmth? Or restraint? There is applause from the staff, quiet. But inside, everything is stirring. Section 3. The unseen tensions. Between courses, silence reigns. Leonor glances at Christian's father, an unspoken question in her eyes. Christian shifts in his chair. The father clears his throat. Not to speak, just to fill the emptiness. The tablecloth is immaculate, the candlelight perfect, but in that light, shadows seem longer. Was it something Leonor said? Or something she didn't? Perhaps Christian's father expected compliments. Perhaps he expected deference. And instead, found intimacy between Leonor and Christian the son. That closeness can democratize hierarchies, and that unsettles tradition. That's when emotions become audible. A sigh. The clink of silverware paused midair. A glance down. A breath through the nose. All small, yet enormous. Section 4. Context from the past. To understand this dinner, we must go back. Leonor's visits to Scandinavian courts. Christian's childhood, raised in the spotlight. His father's own struggles with balancing paternal warmth and princely distance. There was the official portrait. Years ago, when Leonor visited Denmark, she stood next to Christian and his father, smiling. But backstage, reports said Christian felt overshadowed, Leonor felt out of place. Their interactions that night were formal, what they needed to be, but never entirely what they wanted to be. Then there was the gala in Oslo. Similar family dynamics, but with laughter, relief, bridging moments. Could those have set expectations for tonight? Leonor might have hoped for warmth. Christian might have wanted connection. His father perhaps hoped for proper decorum. But human hearts rarely settle for just hope. Section 5. Clarifying emotional undercurrents. Halfway through dinner, Leonor raises a toast. Not to tradition, not to protocol, but to moments we never forget, and those we have yet to make. Her voice steady, her hands calm. Christian catches her eye. His father's posture shifts. The toast pulls at more than wine, it strains against what royals are supposed to say. Questions. Did Christian's father feel excluded? Did Leonor mean to include him? Was this a subtle rebuke? Or a gentle invitation? Perhaps all of the above. Perhaps neither. But certainly, in that toast, a new narrative emerges. One where expectations are re-examined. Where roles are not fixed. Where space opens, for connection, responsibility, vulnerability. Section 6. Perspectives and motives. From Leonor's perspective, she wants recognition, not just of her rank, but of her personhood. Not to just participate, but to be seen, as someone not merely visiting, but belonging in some way. From Christian's view, torn between father's approval and his own emotions. He sees Leonor as both a symbol and a friend. He wants warmth. Perhaps he fears duty will always come first. From the crown prince, the father. Protector of tradition, guardian of royal expectations. Yet as years pass, he also senses change. Royals now must be more human. Yet his training, his history, his public image, everything demands perfect composure. Section 7. Curious moves. After dinner, Christian suggests a walk in the palace gardens. Leonor hesitates. Royal protocols, security, curfews. His father watches from the threshold. Does nothing. The walk happens. Between trimmed hedges and moonlight, Christian shares something, the image of Leonor in a painting he once admired, at a museum his father forbade him to visit. She laughs quietly. He confesses feeling trapped by invisible walls. She responds, royal duty sometimes feels like chains. And then silence. What walls is Leonor speaking of? What invisible chains? Are they the public roles? Expectations? Rituals? When they return, Christian's father stands in the doorway. There's a kind of sorrow in his face. Perhaps recognition. Perhaps regret. Perhaps understanding. Section 8. Unfolding aftermath. By the time dessert ends, something has shifted. Not everything changed. Protocol remains. The palace remains. But a quiet permission has been granted, permission for moments of truth, for vulnerability, for humanity among crowns. Leonor's farewell is warmer. Christian embraces her. His father places a hand on Christian's shoulder, less performative, more paternal. Leonor turns to leave, eyes soft, dignified. Christian watches. His father bows. Cameras flash from afar. They have shown what they intended, royalty fulfilling duty. But behind them now lingers something more, possibility. Section 9. What this night means. For Leonor, perhaps a realization that being heir doesn't mean being alone. That connection across lines of blood and rank still matters. For Christian, a reclaiming of self, beyond prince, son, public figure. For his father, a lesson in love and leadership, how tradition demands much, but compassion demands more. For the monarchy, a sign that the new era is not just in ceremonies, but in quiet rooms, in shared stories, in acceptance of emotion. Section 10. Closure and curiosity left open. So, what truly changed that night in Denmark? Was it just a dinner? Or was it the beginning of something, a shift in hearts, in royal culture? Will the warmth Leonor offered ripple through future events? Will Christian feel freer? Will his father adapt? We may never know all of it. But in that flicker of connection, in that moment of pause, in that breath between words, we saw something rare, royalty, not as ceremony, but as humanity. End note. This was more than a royal dinner. It was a revelation, a shock, not for scandal, but for kindness. Not for discord, but for honesty. In a world where crowns are rigid, sometimes what shakes us is not what is broken, but what is mended.